What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to What's on the Pegs right here on the TB Toycast YouTube channel. As today we are bringing you episode 9. Really excited to talk all things What's on the Pegs. And also, if you're checking out this video, if it's the first time, make sure to subscribe if you would like it. And let me know what you're finding on the pegs. Drop it in the comments down below. And as always, if you see something kind of cool or something unique, send it my way, and I'll feature it in an upcoming video very soon if I can figure out what I'm saying there. But it's always cool to see different stuff on the pegs. I'm always hitting a variety of stores. Of course, your classics like Walmart and Target these days, but also a bunch of different vintage toy stores, which is always kind of fun. You know, in fact, before I get this started, I was kind of thinking the other day, it's like, man, imagine what it would be like in what it's like in 2025, we know, but imagine what it would have been like, say, like in 1993 to do this. You'd have Walmart, Target, Kmart, Toys R Us, KB Toys, and then those other big box stores, places like Venture or Service Merchandise, which are not as big, of course, but they did have toys always. So it's kind of crazy to think nowadays. And then I remember my local area had a store called Woolworth. Do you guys remember Woolworth? I'll throw a picture up here if I remember it. But yeah, I always found good stuff there. You know, when I was a kid, I found a lot of AWA figures back in the day. So, like, yeah, you just never know. And then I know Travis has always talked about a place called Children's Palace, which is, well, we didn't have one out here. But again, the more that kind of stuff is always, to me, is a lot better. You always can find good stuff there. But we started off this week with an interesting find. From the Super 7 Deluxe Thundercats line, it is Chitara. There was no Tigra that I saw, but I did notice something here, and that is the price point. $36.99 for these. So you're seeing a price increase here. We probably knew it was going to happen, but man, 37's a little hard to swallow. Now, granted, a lot of people probably spent $55 on this figure, so I guess maybe 37 isn't that bad, but man, it's very expensive. So I don't know. Don't know if that'll be one I pick up or not, especially with that new Mattel Motu style line coming around the corner. This might be a pass for me. So I don't know. What do you guys think? It's cool. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but I mean, man, it's a lot of money too. I also saw this 2-pack for the very first time, and this actually looked really cool. It was the Grim Knight and Killer Croc. I don't have a Killer Croc like this in my collection, obviously a much bigger figure, and that Grim Knight was always really fun, and it's actually a little bit more of an expensive figure, so if this is one you're digging, I would say pick it up. $72.99. A little on the pricey side of things, but everything is going up, I guess, so it's not really over that. And Killer Croc is what they call a mega figure, so it's a lot bigger, of course. But no, I thought this was pretty cool. And that Grim Knight I always thought was a fun Batman figure, and I think I saw it the other day for $60 at a vintage toy shop. So really, I mean, if that's what it's valued at, this isn't that bad of a deal after all. So again, you got to vote your wallet and pick up the stuff that you like. That's what I always think, anyway. This was kind of cool to see for the first time on the pegs. Alfred Pennyworth, of course, the butler of one Mr. Bruce Wayne. Pretty cool to see Alfred there. Not one I don't feel like I necessarily need. And this also, I don't know if this is from the movies or not. It might be from that Batman movie, the one with the kid from Twilight. I'm not 100% sure, but this isn't like, I don't get the Alfred vibes from this one. You know, like Alfred's got to look more like a butler to me for me to want to be like, oh, okay, I'll grab that. This one doesn't really hit me. So this was a pass for me, but it was cool to see. It was cool to see an Alfred in the DC Multiverse line. I don't know if they've done one before. They may have. I think it'd be cool if they did Michael Caine from Batman Begins or the Dark Knight trilogy. I think that'd be cool. I always thought he was a great Alfred, so who's to say? Who's to say down the road anyway? The Superman movie is obviously going to be hitting very, very soon. Looks like it's going to be a pretty big summer release. We don't know if it'll be good or not, of course. James Gunn is at the helm of the DC films, and this kind of being their first big one. I would have to say it's going to be somewhat decent. This was, of course, a 4-pack, and this is from Spin Master. This was an interesting thing because you got Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific, Superman, and a exclusive Lex Luthor in the armor, the Luthor armor. I don't even know what you call it, but that type of armor. And Spin Master has never done 6-inch scale figures until now. So this is one of those things where I don't know what's going on. I don't think any of us know. I can only comment on what I see. But this is interesting because McFarlane has always kind of dominated the 6-inch scale. Now Spin Master's diving into it with these. And, McFarlane is also doing Superman movie figures. Granted, much different than this, so they're not at all the same, but there's something similar. I don't know. This is a pass for me. These aren't the greatest looking figures in my opinion, but they are a little bit cheaper. So if you're on a budget and want to get some 6-inch Superman figures, I think this might be the way to do it. They also have a single figure line, which I'm going to show here in a second. So, I mean, again, not bad. We got a couple we got the Crypto Dog, and we got one of the little, I don't know what, the little alien babies there. So, again, we don't know a lot about this yet because the movie's not out. And that's another thing with movie figures. I saw this in one of the groups that someone's like, I want to get these, but I want to wait till the movie's out. Which is fair, because movie figures usually always do hit before the movie. And so you kind of buy it, but you don't even know if you're into it or not yet. But I was talking to Travis about this a while back. I was like, it's interesting that we don't see a lot of movie figures anymore. But this is actually proof that still is a thing because we're seeing this pretty heavy. But not any Fantastic Four stuff. I mean, I think it might be coming, but we haven't seen it yet. I do know there's a wave of Marvel Legends on the way, but I would have thought it would already hit by now. So, who knows? Who knows what's happening? But kind of an interesting 4-pack there from the Superman movie and Spin Master. Speaking of that, I mentioned this already, but of course, the DC Multiverse Superman movie figures. We got Superman and we got Metamorpho there. So I don't think Metamorpho's had a DC Multiverse release yet. I could be wrong there. I don't typically do the movie figures. I stay away from those. I want them to be kind of comic book based. That's just my own personal preference. So these are both a pass for me. But that Superman is really cool. The Metamorpho is kind of cool too. So, but I like to stick with one specific style. Because when you dive into the movies, there's so many across so many different genres. The only movie figure, and it's technically not a movie figure, it's more of a TV figure. The only one I made an exception on was the Adam West Batman. Which I'm still really disappointed that they gave us the DC Multiverse Adam West Batman, but not the rest of the characters. I know they gave them to us in the retro line, but not the regular line. I'm like, what is that? Come on. Give us the rest of the characters. What are you doing, people? Oh, I had to talk about these. The Aikido Warriors, Legends of Aikido Ninja Fury. Looks like it's a 6-pack of figures here. So a couple of years ago, I got really into the Aikido Warriors. I thought these things were awesome because they were super unique. A bunch of different unique characters, and they very much had the karate fighters type of thing where you fought and you'd hit the thing just right and it would fall apart. Or back in the day, the karate fighters would fly off their thing. They were kind of like that, but much smaller scale. But they also did mystery figures where you could buy it for $5, open it up, and a mystery figure was inside. For some reason, I just thought that was super cool. And these are very kids-based, but again, a cheap price point, something fun, something different. They've done Sonic the Hedgehog of these. They've also done, I believe they've also done Ninja Turtles with these. So again, kind of cool. It's not for everybody, for sure. Probably not something I would buy nowadays. I did buy a couple back in the day because I thought they were fun, but definitely not something I would buy now. But it is fun. It's fun. It's different. It's unique. I think it's kind of cool. So it's cool to see the Aikido Warriors still happening out there. I mentioned the Superman 6-inch figures before. So these are the single releases. Of course, we got the Green Lantern, the Guy Gardner Green Lantern, and the regular release Superman. And if you see these, they actually have a build-a-figure to build a robot character. I don't even know who that robot character is, but if you look there, it looks like the Superman figure comes with the torso, and the Guy Gardner figure comes with the right arm, which I didn't even realize that when I took the picture, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know. I think these are about $8 a piece. Not horrible as far as a price point is concerned. But again, these don't do a lot for me, so it's not something I can see myself getting. But I'm like, it is something cool, something different, I guess. So depends on what you're into. And I also saw this. I want to throw this out there. It's a Heroes versus Villains 5-pack, $13 retail, not bad. They were about 3-inch to 4-inch figures. Of course, we got the Robot, Mr. Terrific, Superman, Ultraman, and the Engineer. I have no idea who the Engineer is, but again, something cool, something different. They're really going all in with Superman and giving us a ton of different stuff. I have a pretty strong feeling that we will see this all over the place at Ross and Marshall sometime down the road. And it may move, well, I don't know. But typically stuff like this, I feel like in 2025 doesn't. But we'll see what happens. But still fun. You know, it's not my favorite thing that I've ever seen, but it's something different. It's something fun. So who's to say? Who's to say? But then I hit up a Walmart, and I thought this was kind of cool. I found a Jade figure with a platinum sticker. Thought that was pretty cool. But I also found a Western World Batman. I did pick that up because I'm like, a cowboy Batman? Are you kidding me? Absolutely, I'm going to buy that. And I just realized his trading card's on the other side. I don't know if they're all like that, but that's kind of an interesting touch. But yeah, I'm all about a kind of a unique variant Batman, so I had to pick that up. I passed on the Jade, at least for now. It's probably gone at this point. But yeah, that Western World Batman, that one came home because I had to get it. And finally, I've probably taken a picture of this before, but as you can see, the box on this one has not held up well. There's actually a piece of it down at the bottom, but Pee Wee Herman from NECA. I feel like this was a home run of a figure. I know it probably wasn't on everybody's like most wanted list. Maybe not. I mean, I thought it was really fun, but I was like a Pee Wee Herman. I don't own this yet, but I would like to get it. I mean, it's Pee Wee Herman. We all grew up with Pee Wee Herman. Every kid in my generation, we all remember Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and of course the television show Pee Wee's Playhouse. Just a wild time to be a kid. And this was definitely a fun release from NECA, and they really did a good job with it. Now, if we could get an Ernest, that'd be the coolest thing ever. I remember on the Major Pod group page, there was a guy for like months. Every day he was posting about an Ernest Bendy. Give us Ernest, give us Ernest. To the point everyone was like, okay, dude, cool it with the Ernest. It was funny, though. I'm like, I'd buy an Ernest if someone made it. Who's to say? And then finally, I got another picture here from Daniel Cross. This was a really cool thing to see, even though it's just a picture, but he saw it out in the wild, and that is from Junk Shop Dog, the Sofubi Pro Wrestling figures, or Popey style figures. Of course, there was a Popey style line back in like 1980, featured like Hulk Hogan, Harley Race, Abdullah the Butcher, guys like that. I think they made 10 or 12 figures. They're very expensive and very sought after. Well, Junk Shop Dog came out and released basically Series 2 of these, or Series 3 in a lot of cases. And you can see that this is a lot of the releases. Of course, we got Davey Boy Smith, the Dynamite Kid there. Over on the left, we got Terry Funk, Bull Nakano, and then we got Aja Kong, the Destroyer, which is really cool, the Road Warriors down below, which is really fun, or at least Hawk. I don't see Animal, but he might be in there somewhere. Onita, which is really fun. Shingo Takagi's back there. Another Aja Kong. Really, really cool. I don't collect these personally, but I've always thought these were fun. I love the pink carding. They definitely hit you in the feels if you ever saw those original Popies. But a problem with these that I would have is I would want to go back and get the original Popies, which are not cheap. And to get them in good quality, also not easy to do. So that's not one I dive into simply for that reason, because I'm like, oof, that would be one slippery slope to go down. But all in all, still really, really cool stuff. But let me know in the comments down below. Have you been seeing any of this stuff? Is this stuff you're picking up, passing on, or what are you finding? Are you finding different stuff out there? Because I'm always trying to show a different variety of figures and different things that I'm seeing, and hopefully, kind of inspire other people to do their toy hunts as well. So hit me up in the comments down below. Also, shoot me a comment or a picture over at TB Toycast. Probably the best place to reach me is on Instagram. I'm very active over there. But let me know. And, of course, check out my other videos. I do 3 unboxing videos every single week, unboxing a ton of different types of figures, from DC Multiverse to Mattel, WWE Elite, to a lot of different retro wrestling figures, Marvel Legends, Simpsons, and a ton of other stuff in between. So check all those out. And then, of course, Tales of the Toy Box. I'm dropping a new episode every single month, so check that out as well. Thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. Make sure to check out the TB Toycast podcast, and we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.